as if they're actors. At home here, they're really quiet, they feed, and you go to a rodeo and they know they've got a buck and put on a show. Once they've bucked and come back in the backyards, they're really quiet again and they just sort of settle down and relax. Well, this is Chainsaw. He's won us 3 buck and bull titles of the year. He is the best bull we've ever had. He's got a personality of his own. He knows what's going on all the time. He's a very brainy bull, I think. I've had a lot of good bulls over the years, but I don't think I've ever had a bull or seen another bull like Chainsaw.
I've drawn a bull that they go by the name of Chainsaw. He's the rankest of rank in Australia, in my opinion. He's unpredictable, but I'm going to try like all hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go on with the Brahman bull riding. A cowboy in this event will virtually tie his hand onto the back of a bucking bull weighing somewhere around the 1,500 pound to 2,000 pound mark. He's got to stay there for 8 seconds. He must ride for 8 seconds. Our judges will score him on the ride that he makes on the bucking bull. They'll score the bucking bull on exactly how hard it does buck.
Those that have seen him, well, on the TV or have seen him live, just know how agile this bull is. He can be like a cat. He can get in the air, get completely on his side and still land on his feet. Let's show him Shane Conley, Chainsaw.
You know why they call him Chainsaw?
Why do they call him Chainsaw?
Because he cuts big mouth rodeo clowns down to size.
He cuts big mouth rodeo clowns down to size. Well, you better get in that barrel because he'll be looking for you.
He won't hurt me.
Oh, he'll hit you for sure.
I'm married to his sister.
You're married to his sister? Shane Conley, a lot of pressure going through him. He's been the Australian champion. He's drawn one of the most famous bucking bulls that has ever been in the rodeo arena.
Bucking. Just about knocked me out. I hit the dirt doing about 70 miles an hour. He don't give you long to get a feed on him once he starts bucking. It's pretty hectic out there.
I think the first time I went about 1 second, the second time I went about 3 seconds. He's just so fast and so quick. He defies gravity the way he can turn back in midair. He's probably a freak. He's probably one of the best bulls you'll ever see in the world.
The first jump out of the chute, he will usually jump into the air and go completely on his side, and usually left-handed bull riders will have a lot of trouble, and he just completely bucks right from there on.
You know, he's just that type of bull. He'll go to the right, to the left, straight, but he rocks and rolls sometimes. He's just so unpredictable.
And he thinks all the time. If the guy gets over them first 2 or 3 bucks, well, he's thinking, well, I'll prop and I'll hop and I'll skip and I'll come back around, and it really makes it hard.
A lot of bull riders have told me that he doesn't feel very strong when they're on him, but it just seems to be that the height that he gets and then he drops out from underneath them and they're off him before they know what's happened.
Once again, the bucking bull of the year, Chainsaw. In the final go-round, he gets to try one more time. Shoot number 4. This bull has been wiping them out all year. He is getting better as he gets older. It's not too long before they're ready to go. Let's watch him. Darren Brandenburg chainsaw. I'll try and get out of the way.
Let's go, man.
Renee's ready to go. And he's doing what he does so well, and that's a victory lap. A big round of applause for the year, Chainsaw.
To me, the bulls buck because they want to buck. There's no way that you can make a bull buck if he doesn't want to buck. Some people think that, you know, if you put a flank on him and pull it really tight that he's going to buck better. Well, that's not the case. Some bulls that we just hang the flank on them and it's fairly loose and they buck at their best. We breed some young bulls and we buck them and they learn to buck. You know, the first few times you buck them, they all just buck, and then they learn where that rider is on their back and they start learning how to get him off.
Yes, that is Bambi. That's one of the new bucking sensations on our pro circuit. He's basically one of the new stars. Like, we always have our stars that come along from time to time as Chainsaw has come along. Bambi, he's coming along. Bambi, it's a funny name. Like, it's supposed to mean you little deer. But of course, by looking at him, he's a great big white monster, and he already has done quite a lot of damage to two bull riders.
All right, Benji.
Let's go.
Get out of there. Let's hope he's okay. He's not feeling good. We have our ambulance men to behind the chute straight away, please. Ambulance men to behind the chute. Well, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. It might make him feel just a little bit better.
They say bull riding is the most dangerous event in rodeo, and I'm sure it is.
It's a sickening sight sometimes, because the most dangerous thing in bull riding is being stood on. That is definitely by far the most. The horns, is a certain amount of give when they hook you, but when that ton of bull comes in, you're flat at the ground, you go flatter.
Small man against big bull is a relatively uneven contest, and some of those big bulls, they will kill you.
We nearly lost our son 2 Christmases ago. He got stood on by a bull, and he was lucky to pull through the night. He had 11 broken ribs, and he punctured his lung, and of course he should have been in hospital 3 or 4 weeks at least. He was out in 4 days because he wanted to see how our bulls were bucking at the next rodeo at Tumbarumba.
Well, I have broken quite a few bones career. Probably the worst one was at Mount Isa one year. Got a little bit tilted to the outside of the bull, and he sort of got flattened out a little bit, and he had pretty big horns. All of a sudden he come back the other way and stuck a horn under my arm, and he broke 2 ribs and punctured my lung. And
there's nothing we can really do to stop them getting hurt. Once the gate opens and the bull starts bucking, if they get hung up or anything, we just can't blow a whistle and stop the bull.
They ended up cutting me open, and they got 2 litres of congealed blood and a lot of bone fragments out of the sac that my lung sits in. And I think I was pretty happy to be alive at the time.
let him the brakes, going to play with the bulls, he's going to get the horn.
The main job of a bullfighting clown is to protect the cowboys. If they get thrown off the bull and the bull will turn on them, the bullfighting clown will move in between the cowboy and the bull and take the bull away.
Probably the most dangerous occurrence is if they get a little bit too far into that bin and they get drawn down into it, and then they're in a lot of trouble because the bull's coming around into the spin, and the first thing he comes into contact with is the rider, isn't he? You know, and he's more or less, their meat then, isn't it?
Normally that happens when the bull rider is thrown from the bull away from his hand. Now you notice when he places his hand in the rope, it's flat, he'll take the wraps around it, and he stands his hand up. Now if they fall off on the offside, their hand rolls forward, and it makes it hard to get that hand open because it's on the back of the bull and it's locked in. And that's why it's so dangerous when you fall off that side. You've got to then try and keep your wits together, pull that tail and jerk it free to open the hand because you can't just naturally open it.
It's the job of the bullfighter to try to get in there and actually get the cowboy's elbow back up and then undo the wraps around his hand. The timing is very much the important part of it. If you're in the wrong position at the wrong time, you can be run over yourself, and then you're no use to the cowboy at all.
A bull rider's got a fair bit stacked against him. He's got a ton of bull in the chute for a start. He's got a stock contractor planning the background, and you get about an 8 or 9 stone kid.
The chainsaw is in bucking chute number 4. 3 times bucking bull of the year, voted that way by the top 15 cowboys in the nation. The bull is a legend. He is a freak of nature, one of the toughest bulls in the world to ride, and a bull that cowboys on any continent will tell you is very, very hard to win money on.
There is something in their makeup that makes them want to do a dangerous thing that very few other people are likely to do or want to do. But the excitement, sure, the sense of you could get killed doing this. I guess they climb on bulls because they're there.
Do you think bull riders are crazy?
I guess you have to have a little bit of it there.
Okay, we're watching it.
It's like being on a roller coaster, a merry-go-round, and the dodgem cars all in one, and the feeling inside your heart when you top off that you've done it. It's just, you can't explain. It's like being on all them rides all in one.
You see some bulls, really tough bulls, and you'll see the guys that really want to be bull riders, and they honestly believe that they can ride that bull. Guys that draw a chainsaw and they say, hell, I should have rode him, but I done something wrong. And the next time they got him, they said, I'll ride him this time, and he bucks them off. And they just say that they done something wrong, and they still honestly believe in their mind that they can ride him.
What makes a good bull rider is heart. If you don't have the heart, or as they call it, try, the rest of it's not going to do him much good.
It nearly all should be mental preparation, you know, like, I think that determines the better bull riders from the ones that don't ride them as good, because there's basic moves to be made, and and no one is really different. We've all got 2 arms and 2 legs and everything, but it's all the preparation in your head.
I really discipline my mind to concentrate. It's just sheer concentration on what he's doing. I just feel the aggression, the craving to get after him. Just before I go on, I try and stay cool and calm and have a clear thinking, because I'm just going out there to ride, to outmanoeuvre that bull. But as the gate opens, I try and get that into an aggression, so that every time I feel him beat me, I'm going to beat him. Every time he moves me, I'm going to move back faster than him.
Well, he was a draw, and give him a round of applause. Eddie Fisher and Freddie Kruger. I like the music and the action in the bull riding. We're going to go with the 1990 Australian champion, Troy Dunn from Serena, Queensland. In the field at this time called Featherfoot.
Bull riding is a really thinking game. You have to learn the moves of bull riding and learn what you got to do, and then it's got to happen automatic. If you have to tell yourself to move while you're on a bull, you're too late, because the bull's too quick for you.
The bull rider off of his back. He tries to stick that horn under the bull rider's legs and then flick him off. Let's look him. Featherfoot stood up and bull. Off with the ride. He springs ahead, trying to get the cowboy. Can he stay right?
You notice that he didn't look down there, because that's where you're going to land. Well, if you look out there, you're going to land out there. He just got himself in the position. He knew he was right, and he probably followed the outside shoulder more than anything, because he looks down there, and that bull can only go as that far as that outside shoulder. You understand, like if he's trying to get ahead of him, well, the ball might not come as far as he's looking. So he's in front of the bull, and he can be thrown. So he's watching the bull the whole time. That's where he generates. He doesn't look at the head. We see different types of bulls, like Featherfoot, that throws his head one way and the other. You're watching the head, well, you don't know what they're doing. They only go as far as those shoulders right there in front of the hand.
It took us 12 months to educate Bambi. It was a very wild bull, and very wild bulls without brains are not good in our sport. We don't mind them wild as long as they know what they're wild about.
Yeah, I've seen Bambi. Bambi is a very good bull too. I don't think that Bambi is in the class of Chainsaw, though.
The stock contractors are a very competitive group of people. They not only have to compete for the individual rodeo's business, they compete amongst themselves for to see who has the best stock or who can get the biggest reputation from certain stock.
We will sit down and we will talk, and of course after about a couple of beers sometimes we'll try and give one another the hint that our bull or our horses are better than the one you've got.
It is the greatest thing you can do, is to win the bucking bull or the bucking saddle bronc or bareback horse of the year. That is something that you go for every year, and you know that's something that's really important to win.
I've had bucking bulls before, bucking bulls of the year, and Chainsaw naturally is one of the greatest bucking bulls ever been in rodeo, and he's been around for some times, but the young ones keep going, and I think Bambi would like to have it one day, if not this year.
It's always good at the end of the year to see who wins, and I'm sure it's always the best one that wins.
Gary Long, he's drawn Chainsaw tonight. He's the leading bull rider and probably the toughest bull rider to throw off in the country at the moment. And I think it'll be Chainsaw's biggest challenge for a fair while. He hasn't been ridden for quite a while now, and tonight I know the bull's in good shape and he'll be bucking. So it's going to be really interesting tonight to see what happens.
Oh, feels pretty good really, to be able to get on him, because I've never been on him.
Do you feel confident?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a pretty tough competition on our hands tonight. Got the national champion attacking the bull. So yeah, we've got to try our best, and he's got to try his best to see what's going to happen.
Well, I don't put my money on anybody, but I think I'm always in favour of the bull.
I wonder why that would be.
Well, he's my pet.
When you're at the actual rodeo, when he feels good, when he's in the yard down the back by himself, he'll start stalking the yard, goes sort of right around the outside, and then he'll turn and come back. And as time comes, he sort of gets faster, and that's when he's really going to buck. We just got to hope he does that tonight.
Well, I guess there is a match on tonight because Gary Longley, the cowboy who's drawn him, will be the new bull riding champion of Australia. They can't catch him at the finals. He's had a terrific year, and he is riding very strongly and very positive. I guess in his mental preparation, he doesn't think there's a bull in the country that can throw him off. I guess that's the way he's got to be thinking, and we'll see tonight just how they go. I think it'll be a real match-up, and if you want to see someone on chainsaw for as long as we can, I think tonight could be the night to watch it. But again, that unpredictability, who knows?
Our final bull rider, Gary Longley, a man who's come to the national finals leading the bull riding title. He can't be beaten. He is going to be our new Australian champion. The bull he is drawn, none other than 3-time Bucking Bull of the Year, Chainsaw. We've got a match of champions coming up to wind up the third round. Suit number 4. Look at the suit the cowboys are watching. They know this could be a bull ride. It might be one of the few times this bull has ever been ridden. I'm cheering for the cowboy, and I sure hope you are too. Gary Longley, Chainsaw.
Come on, pitch. It's pitch, mate. Pitch. Go get him, Gary. Gary. Right up, Longley.
Okay. I know what's going through this man's mind. I believe that this bull has been bucking ranker and ranker as he gets older. He's getting more inconsistent. Well, he was giving it a try. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, because there's the tough one, Chainsaw, and give him a round because he always does when he does that.
Here in Tamworth last night, that was a mighty bull Chainsaw. He was drawn in the round last night by the lad who is going to be the Australian bull riding champion, and that's young Gary Longley from Bow Desert in Queensland. He drew up on the mighty Chainsaw and went the longest that anyone has got on that bull this year, but he didn't make time. Gary blew out probably about 3.5, 4 seconds in the ride, and that bull threw him about 10 feet across the arena. He landed on his feet and walked away. But the mighty Chainsaw is still unridden at the Tamworth Rodeo.
When you go to a rodeo and the bull ride's on and then each bull comes up and you know he's trying his best for you, and you really do get attached to him, yeah. And you don't like to see any of them get hurt. And, well, really, we'd sooner see him buck everyone off, but we just like the bull to do his best. They're like your best friend. When you come to a rodeo, you're there and you buck your stock, and then the next morning after there's no one else there and just you and your stock, and you look around and you say, well, they've done another good job for me, and yeah, you do get really attached to the bulls.
Big Country returns next Friday at 8. And tomorrow, writer Leslie Downer leaves the modern bustle of Tokyo and heads into Japan's mountain country in search of hidden valleys where life has remained unchanged for centuries. Journey to Lost Japan in Travels tomorrow night at 7:30. Coming up shortly, our movie of the week, The Reluctant Debutante.
Just 2 years ago, the Nationals governed Queensland.